All right, here I am. Here I am. I'm going to get that second audio track off. As I said, here I am. Here I'm is. And you know what we are down to? We're down to some serious biz. And that's break on through. We are going to break on through to the other side. I hope you all are all ready for that. Yeah, a little bit of a return to format tonight. I want to go ahead and get something out of the way. Some shocking news this past weekend. Our old pal and our contemporary, Dexter Romweber, passed away Saturday, I guess. Saturday evening? Friday evening? Real shock. I know a lot of my friends, including my brother, were really a little bit closer to him than I was, but Dex and I always had a mutual respect for one another. I got to perform on stage with the Flat Duo Jets when they were a trio. We did a cover of the Sonics' Strychnine. And always had a great respect for Dex, the Flat Duo Jets, and anything he did. And like I said, I'm just really, really shocked. And I think Dexter would not mind my going against protocol by toasting him by drinking some lime water. But it's my break on through brew for tonight. And I am not going to let this broadcast pass without paying tribute to such a great musician. So if everybody would lift their break on through brews, and we will drink to the life and to the memory of Mr. Dexter Romweber. Rest in peace, pal. I hear tell that there is going to be a tribute radio show done by my main Moose Roberts this Thursday night on Pirate Flag Radio. Actually, I need to get a list of all the people I know that do their own radio shows and stuff and make it available. It's a damn good way to get turned on to brand new stuff without and probably you get to hear the whoever's conducting the radio show will give you a little bit of info on what you're listening to. So check that out if you get a minute. Go look at Moose Roberts' page, or Pirate Flag Radio is tagged in a post I saw, and I think that'll be a good thing. Last week we had a lot of fun here on Break On Through. I had my old friend Eddie Ford. We were celebrating the release of Long-Haired Weirdo Records number 005, and that is this CD, A Fine Stew. The best of Self-Made Monsters so far. And I want to thank all of you for making its debut very successful in the sales department. Keep it coming. I got them. I'm ready to ship them out. Man, I ship them things out as soon as your orders come in. Bing, they go. And I think you're all going to enjoy it a whole lot. And I would like to hear your feedback. positive or negative. We're veterans here. We can take the bad with the good. Let's see what's going on here. Oh, I got a little bit of news for you, man. We got, as you saw today, we listed some more shows. We're going to be doing 3 shows in connection with the first show on April 4th in the city of brotherly love, Hostel City, USA, Philadelphia, PA. We will be celebrating the final bloodbath of Eat the Turnbuckle. Yeah, we're going to be there. Fang's going to be there. Ringworm is going to be there. Madman Pondo is going to be there. Necro Butcher is going to be there. Man, it's going to be a crazy night. And that is no reference to any Kiss record by that same title. That'll be April 4th at Underground Arts in Philadelphia. And the next night, we will be in Youngstown, Ohio at the West Side Bowl. And then on Saturday night, we will be in York, Pennsylvania at Skid Row Garage. So there's 3 chances to see ANTiSEEN. Now, on my post, you know, every single time I ever make a post about playing a show, and it used to get on my nerves, man. All right, we're playing Philadelphia, Youngstown, York. It's on an area. It's a small area. How about Denver, Colorado? Yeah, you know, let us go. I used to get all into that. I don't let that bother me anymore. I don't even answer those questions. You know, people just start saying a city, question mark. I don't respond to them. I don't answer them. And this is the last time I'm ever going to say anything about it. Ever. Ever. Again, because old JC don't let stuff like that bug him anymore. And that's all there is to that. If you want to see us in April, you will see us in Philadelphia, Youngstown, Ohio, and York, Pennsylvania. You know, ever since my injury back in December, we're kind of putting our feet back in the water a little bit. And that's why we ain't starting out with, you know, 10, 15, 20 shows right off the bat. We're going to work back up to it. But you're going to have a lot of opportunities to see ANTiSEEN in 2024. Man, we've already talked about stuff all the way to the end of the year. So, yeah, there's going to be a lot going on. Lots of projects. Speaking of projects, let me tell you about one that will be available on the Big Cartel store page really soon. And I see my main Clinton Zilla is here. He's the one that put all this together. Video Shit. The first VHS video compilation that we ever compiled and made a cover for and had it for sale at our shows. It's coming out on DVD. On Death Train Video. Death Train is getting a new life here in 2024. A long time ago, we released a few things on Death Train Music. I don't even know how high we got. Probably 5, maybe. It was, excuse me, Working Class. It was mainly early ANTiSEEN and Judas Bullethead stuff. But I think there was other things. But I decided to start the label over, but we're simply going to call it Death Train Records this time. And I don't know if there ever actually will be any records, but they are going to be the CD releases of a bunch of stuff that people have asked to be on CD, and maybe even some CD-only exclusives. But there's also Death Train Video, which is another offshoot of that. Okay, whatever. So I'm really looking forward to you guys seeing the video. I'm looking forward to seeing it, man. I haven't seen that thing in probably 30 years. I'm making sure I got all the stuff I want to talk about out of the way, because tonight's subject is going to be an in-depth one. I think you guys will like this. Man, I hate when I have to do it this late by myself. I mean, this late, man, it's 8:11. Yeah. That's why I yawn so much, because I'm just sitting here talking to myself. It feels like it. I see you guys on there, and I appreciate you being here with me tonight. You know I do. You know I always appreciate you guys and gals. I don't appreciate what the Wi-Fi is doing, but what do I know? And I think that's all my announcements right now. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to respond to some comment. Amy Lynn wants my Ric Flair poster. All right. Well, y'all are coming up with some funny stuff tonight. That's good. You can keep me laughing. I do want to ask a question again, though. Do you guys... I know when I have a guest, sometimes it's just basically me interviewing the guest, but we tried the format of having Malcolm interview me because of a conversation I had with Austin King. One day, he asked me some of the best questions. I mean, I've never been asked these questions before. And I didn't know he was going to ask this stuff. And man, we talked for 2 hours. I was like, man, I wish we'd have done this on Break On Through. You know, this was a damn good interview. I was like, maybe that's the format I have to visit sometime. Having somebody on here interviewing me, and I've had a few people volunteer to do so. Thinking about a centralized little piece of the ANTiSEEN story that they would like to talk about and maybe get way more details out of than just me sitting here, you know, telling you what I can remember. Y'all let me know if you think that would be a good idea, if you'd be interested in that. Because if you're not interested, I ain't going to do it. But if you do think that would be something you'd like to see, let's see some hearts and thumbs and some flying pigs and some middle fingers with wings. Let me see something. Oh, there they go. Here they come. All right. Well, I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to do that some more. This actually, this topic, and I do not remember who brought it up to me, but they wanted to know what's the top 10 songs you would like to hear or that you would like for ANTiSEEN to cover. Well, I got my top 10 right here. But I'm going to talk about ANTiSEEN and cover songs for a minute. When we first started, it was our policy strictly no cover songs. I'm not sure how long that lasted. Oh, yeah, I do. When we went to record, so that would have been in 1983, at the end of 83, making that declaration. And then in 1988, we broke our own rule while covering. I think the first cover we ever did. Now, there's people on here that would know better than me, like Edward Mondo Braswell. He could probably correct me. I'm thinking the first cover we ever did was "I Don't Care" by the Ramones. I know it was the first song I ever learned how to play on guitar. But I think it was the first cover we ever did. And we had a few on Noise for the Sake of Noise. And so I guess when we decided, okay, well, we're going to go ahead and let the cover tune gate open, we just went ahead and started going full. So we even put out full cover records, such as Hell, which started out as a 10-inch and moved to a expanded full-length CD, which will one day soon see a deluxe reissue on TKO Records. Me and Mark Rainey have already discussed. Hell is going to be in the queue. But we did Dying Breed. Now, we could have put out Dying Breed more than likely, with the exception of Crazy Horses by the Osmonds, and not told anybody it was covers. But I don't know. The songwriting and the song style, some of them were a little different than what we do. A lot different. But one thing I've always been proud of us being able to doing covers, is to make them all sound like us. Would you agree? Would you agree that when ANTiSEEN does a cover, it sounds like ANTiSEEN? Sounds like our songs? I think so. Now, I've told you this before, that sometimes an idea will come up, but it could sometimes be years before it's actually worked out into where it actually sees the light of day. Like, for instance, I wanted to cover Last Hymn by the Hates, an awesome band from Houston, Texas. I wanted to cover that song as far back as 1988 or 89. But it just never happened until just a few years ago. And so the thing, the ideas are always there, even though, if someone talks about it or brings it up to us, they may think, well, damn, I said that to them 15 years ago. I guess you can't safely say that, because just when you go, well, that was 15 years ago, I guess that idea is, lost in the wind, then it'll come out. So, for instance, let me tell you some songs that I wanted to cover for so long with a punk rock type group, a hard rock group, doing a hard rock version. Not so much doing everything faster like a lot of people do. But one that, and usually it had to be one of us would have to pick it out and teach it to Joe as if it were a new ANTiSEEN song. That's the way you had to do it, And one that I wanted to do for the first time I ever heard it was by a fellow named Louisiana Red. The song was called Sweet Blood Call. And I am happy with our version. I'm pleased with it. But I think, me personally, I could do it better today. A few others that if I ever got a band, I'm going to do these. Because I could hear the version I would do before it ever came out. I could already hear it. One was to Jumpin' Gene Simmons' Haunted House, and one was to Rocky Erickson's Two-Headed Dog. Two songs that have become fan favorites for over 30 years. And if nothing else, us covering Two-Headed Dog turned on a lot of people onto Rocky Erickson. And And if that's all that came of it, well, I'm happy with that, because Rocky was on his way to slipping into obscurity. And I'm not saying we saved it, but I kind of think we had something to do with it, with keeping him from doing that. Now you might think, damn, Jack Clayton, you think you're so important, man? You do stuff. But I'm just going by what facts are. I'm just going to you by the hundreds of people over the years that have said, I've never even heard of him until you guys covered him. There you go. So, a couple other things that I was really proud of to do. Destroyer by the Kinks, when we did that one a while back. Probably what about? I don't know. What year was that, Mondo? And If There's a Hell Below, We're All Gonna Go by Curtis Mayfield. Now that song used to get us in trouble. Because at the beginning of the song, the very first word in it is the N word. But everybody else gets dealt a racial slur too. Because the point being, you know, you can be called all these terrible names, but hey, if there's hell below, we're all gonna go. Meaning, if you don't change your ways. Now, I did, you know, I said this recently to you guys. I know you've heard this. But I made a declaration. Nobody should cover Alice Cooper or Leonard Skinner. That's just perfect way it is. No one can do it justice. Why would you even cover it? And then on Here to Ruin Your Groove, probably a year after I said that, we did Sick Things by Alice Cooper and Needle in the Spoon by Leonard Skinner. You know, something that I was pretty proud of about that. Not only did... This is a fact that kind of gets swept under the rug sometime, but one of the guys that played on the original version on $1 Billion Babies of that song Sick Things, Michael Bruce, original member of the Alice Cooper group, played lead guitar on our version with us. And that's something I'm really proud of. And I'm also really proud of that once I got a note written to me from Johnny Van Zant of Leonard Skinner. We were on the same label for a little bit. We were on they were on Steamhammer, and we were on a subsidiary called Loudspreacher. But they had come into the offices of Steamhammer to do some sort of guitar signing promotional giveaway. And while they were there, the guy that handled our account for the label took them aside and played them our version of Needle in the Spoon. And Johnny Van Zant wrote me a little note. I mean, he was kind. But yeah, that was really cool that he got to hear it. And I don't know, recently, 2 songs I've mentioned it. You guys heard us do New York by the Sex Pistols. That is one of my favorite Sex Pistols songs ever. And I really like the way we were able to arrange that. And I really get a kick out of playing it with the Ultra lineup. They do it great justice, in my opinion. And I mentioned this last week, and I bet y'all didn't do your homework, but I told you to go check out Donna Summer's Sunset People. I've wanted to cover that song since 1993, and we just did it last year in 2023. So, I can't wait till y'all hear that, man. Now, Mondo says our version of I Just Want to Have Something to Do is our best cover we've ever done. I just don't agree with that, Mondo. If I'm being honest with you, man, I only like one of our Ramones covers to any degree, and that was Commando. And but to each their own. You like it, I'm glad you like it. You hear me? You hear me talking to you? I'm glad you like it, son. But the question that someone asked me though was, what are top 10 songs you'd like to cover in ANTiSEEN? Now I'm going to have to do a little bit of explaining with some of these. But I don't know, that's what we're here for, right? But I have a feeling when I get through the end of this list, a lot of you are going to go, yep, that son of a bitch is crazy. But I want to tell you and this is by no means no slight on Walt Wheat or Sir Barry Hannibal. But I have never, ever said anything, no matter how far-fetched it could be, or out of left field, that Malcolm Tent could not imagine exactly what I was talking about. Now, it may be up to us to work it out to show the other half of the band, but man, I'm going to tell you what, I can pretty much tell y'all for a fact that when this show wraps up tonight, in 2 days, Walt will tell me he's already learned my top 10. So that's what we're dealing with here. So, I'm going to start with an honorable mention and go into a little bit of detail here. My honorable mention, it was going to be my number 8. No, wait a minute. Oh, boy. I can't read my notes worth a damn here. All right. Okay. Now I know what I'm going to do. The honorable mention is a song called "The World Is Round," originally written by Rufus Thomas. Now, I was asked to sing for an R&B band a couple times, and we got to do this song. Man, this song, if you even just listen to Rufus Thomas's version of it, it's on YouTube. You can listen to it right now while we're talking. That song is within my vocal. Like, you could tell that that's in my vocal pocket. And we were doing it with the R&B band that I had for a brief moment, the Jeff Clayton Dimension. But we have failed to find a drummer, and honestly, a lot of other projects have come up and gotten in the way, but it's something I hope to revisit at some point. And we all agree that this would be our first thing that we record. But, so check that out. Rufus Thomas, "The World Is Round." All right, now I'm going to start with the list, okay? My number 10. Songs I would like to have ANTiSEEN to cover. Now, some of these I may cover in the R&B band if we ever get back together, but it won't be the ANTiSEEN version, done in the ANTiSEEN style. But these are talking about songs that I would want to do in the ANTiSEEN style. And number 10, is a song written by Mr. Junior Kimbrough, a Mississippi native, called "Done Got Old." Now, back when Joe was still around, we attempted a Junior Kimbrough cover called "You Better Run." And it's a one riff thing, and Iggy Pop did it. He did a cover of it, but and I'm not saying anything bad about Iggy Pop or his covers. I think his covers are great, but I listened to that and I was just like, I don't know, man. I think maybe I could I could put a little spin on that that the egg hadn't thought of, and or at least I'd like to give it a try. But we just never could get it to work, so we dropped that idea. Man, there's just as many covers that we tried and dropped as we ever recorded. I won't go into all those reasons, but it's just that with the Ultra lineup, I just don't think anything is impossible anymore. My number 9. Maybe this will be hard for you to hear. ANTiSEEN doing this, but it's a song by Sly and the Family Stone. And I know immediately your songs are coming to mind. You guys that know the Sly and the Family Stone, their songs are coming to mind, and I guarantee you it's not this one. My number 9 is Family Affair. It's a family affair. You know the song. It's a family affair. I know y'all are like, damn, y'all couldn't do that for ANTiSEEN, but I'm telling you, I hear it. I hear it. John Bowman took a very, very noble attempt at lining out the music for us back during the New Blood era. But that's about as far as that went. So my number 8, and this artist right here, man, other than the super popular songs like I Got You, stuff like that. I can do any of James Brown songs, but one that I really, really love and could hear us tearing it a new rectum hole is James Brown's Funky President. Now, doesn't that make perfect sense since I'm now the heel prez? The unimpeachable president for life? Stock market going up, jobs going down. Ain't no funky job to be found. Oh! Of course, I give it a little more than that. I'm trying to be quiet because everybody's trying to go to sleep. Number 7, and this is one I guarantee. Oh, this is Brian Dunlap's idea. Okay, Brian. I'll give Brian credit where credit is due. He wanted to know this one. And I mentioned this for the first time probably in 1993 or 4. Working at Repo Depot. Me and Robert Everett working at Repo Depot, I brought this up at that point. And I still want to do it ever since. A song by Miss Betty Wright. Now see, here's what I like to do. I like to take songs that are traditionally sung by women from a woman's point of view, change it to the man's point of view. Now sometimes it's hard to do a little bit of word switching, but a song by her called Girls Can't Do What the Guys Do. Y'all go listen to that. And see, and just see if you can listen to these songs and go, well, I could probably hear them mofos attempting this kind of tomfoolery. But see if you can. Girls Can't Do What the Guys Do by Betty Wright. The late, great Betty Wright. Number 6. Now, people used to say, y'all take a country song and really do it upright, which, Haunted House and all intent and purposes was a country song. I think. But we also did Thanks a Lot. I've aged 20 years and 5. I Saw the Light. And I'm very happy with it. But we also, I think we did turn a pretty good blues song into an ANTiSEEN song. And this is what number 6 is. There were versions by Thin Lizzy and Johnny Winter was how I learned it. And I didn't even look up who might have been the original you know what, I'm going to do that right now. But I'm talking about a song called Memory Pain. I'm going to see who originally did that. I think I do have an idea. I looked up Memory Pain, and it showed me all kind of medicines to take. Man, I'm not seeing anything except Johnny. I guess Johnny Winter was the original artist, I guess. I don't know. What do I know? I don't know, you know. Okay. Here I am, back. All right. So there you go. Memory Pain. Number 5. Now, going from number 5 up, not all these, but some of these are more than likely going to see the light of day one day. Number 5, a number by The Impressions. This is the post Curtis Mayfield Impressions. Curtis had left the group to do his very successful solo career. But the Impressions kept going, and they were still on Curtum, which was Curtis's label, and Curtis still produced them. But they had a song called Make a Resolution. Make a Resolution by The Impressions. Now, I had to do a little bit of switching here. Let me see what I got. My number 4. And I know when I say this, some of y'all are going to fall out of your seat laughing. Like, damn, Jim Clayton, you can't do that song, man. Who the hell do you think you are, son? But a huge hit for the Jackson 5 called I Want You Back. You know, the first time I ever thought maybe this could happen is when I heard Graham Parker and the Rumor do it. I was like, damn, that's pretty good, man. I said, but Graham, you're not giving it the treatment you need to. And it's like, well, damn, Jack Clay, who you think you can tell Graham Parker what he can do? And well, yeah, sometimes I do. I mean, I don't mean to sit there and go, oh, I'm conceited. I can do it better. I don't mean that. But I just sometimes, I just hear somebody not giving the vocals the proper inflection or whatever. And I just, I don't know. Man, I tear apart Cher albums. It's like, if it wasn't for the fact that I was like, 8 or 9 years old when most of those songs came out in the 70s, it's like, I would love to have been the producer on some of those songs. Because, man, whoever picked some of those songs for her to do, I kind of questioned the choice of songs. I'm sure I'm sure people presented them, and she could, yay or nay. She turned down The Night the Lights Went Out in Georgia because she felt after Gypsy Tramps and Thieves and Half Breed and Dark Lady and all that, she was becoming, one of the storyteller, tragic storytelling type artists, and she didn't want to be pigeonholed, which I guess I understand that. But man, that song was so good. Vicki Lawrence did it great. Reba McEntire did it great. But I just, like, now at the time, you know, I guess even if I was in my 40s or 50s at the time, I just know that the register of her voice could have been used better on some of those tracks. Like she did the Hollies, He Ain't Heavy, He's My Brother. And they just had her sing completely low. He ain't heavy. And I'm just like, man, y'all wasted some Cher right there now. That's all I gotta say. But all right, so there. My number 4 was I Want You Back. And I know at this point you're going, damn, man, number 1's got to be Bite It, You Scum. But I'm going to tell you, no, it's not. Y'all are going to shit when I tell you what my number 1 is. And me and Malcolm have already discussed this. So, there you go. But my number 3, now 3, you might go, well, okay, well, this is more in the realm of what you guys are about. Because like, people want to go, why don't you do some Motorhead? Why don't you do some, you know, this, that, and the other? And I'm just like, no, I don't know. And just the fact that I've said that probably means that there'll be a Motorhead cover on the next album. Who knows? But this one is by a band that I love, and why I love them, I don't know. Because, well, yeah, I do. They were a great band. I'm sure if we sat down and discussed politics, it would soon turn into a brawl. But a group that used to be called the Dills. The Dills. You're Not Blank. So maybe we're through. I don't know. Maybe we'll do that on Raw Meat. Now, do you guys remember me talking about Raw Meat? That was a project with us and Tesco V. It's still going to happen. It's like everything else, man. You know, everything gets pushed aside, and you know. Now these next two, number 2 and number 1, I'm telling you, these are on the block. And they're like this for me. But I'm going to go ahead and put number 2, a number by the Four Tops, called Are You Man Enough? I know some ska bands and stuff have covered that, but you know, they're not going to give that song the treatment that your old pal JC and the ultra lineup of ANTiSEEN can do. Are You Man Enough by the Four Tops. If I wasn't so tired, I would be doing a lot more singing and stuff. And I know you guys enjoy that, getting that. Nick Sampson saying She's a Lady. Nick, we did She's a Lady in The Dimension. But so there you go, number 2. Are You Man Enough by the Four Tops. I got to see the Four Tops. The 4 original Tops. It was a great show. Okay, here comes number 1. Now, when I say this, I'm probably going to see numbers drop. Y'all probably just going to walk out of this theater. Like, I ain't watching this. I'm not even sure when this song came out. I just know when I heard it, I immediately loved it because of what it said and the way it was said. Very poignant. Written and performed by a young lady named Sarah Bareilles. And the song is called Love Song. And don't be going, oh, you mean that thing from the Damned on Machine Gun? No, I ain't doing no Damned covers. I like Sarah Bareilles better than the Damned. There, I said it. I don't care. But that's my number one. And me and Malcolm sat and we actually discussed this for quite some time, because we are actually doing a project for Malcolm Tent that's going to blow your mind. It blows my mind, and I was part of it. And I may have discussed the details before. Maybe Malcolm gave me the okay. Maybe he gave me the okay to discuss the details. But I'm not going to discuss them now until I get the okay from Malcolm Tent to continue to discuss it. Because, man, I'm telling you, we heard while we were working on Falls Count Anywhere, we did a little bit of work on that, on this project too, since everybody was there, and it is sounding pretty amazing. But I'll just leave it at that. But I just mentioned a project. We've got the final mixes back for Falls Count Anywhere, a collection of wrestling songs as performed by the Ultra lineup. And I just gotta listen to those. We all gotta listen to them. And man, I stopped being nitpicky about stuff no more, because my hearing is so bad. I asked Barry most of the time, Barry, does it sound good to you? It sound like an ANTiSEEN record? He goes, yeah, it's great. And I'll just go, okay, well, y'all don't want me mixing a damn record. I can tell you that right now. Y'all say, oh yeah, that sounds good. And even your dogs will be running around in the yard trying to put their ear on the ground. Damn, my damn internet's really freezing up on me now. Look, I'm moving like a robot on the damn monitor. Oh well. Well, it's about time for me to cut it. To wrap it up right now anyway. Damn thing starts doing that, and it makes me not even want to be able to concentrate. That makes me mad. What am I going to do? It's modern technology. I am no match for technology. Look out, honey, because they're using technology. Ain't got time to make no apology. There, froze up again. Well, everybody, it said my broadcast is waiting for a signal. Oh, there, here, maybe it's coming back in now. Of course, I do this at the end when I want to greet you guys, or give you my farewell greetings, and just tell you all that I really appreciate you coming, man. I appreciate you hanging out. As you see, we're back to format. We'll be back to format for a little bit, I guess, and man, I really hope to see a lot of y'all at these next shows coming up in April. It will be a spectacular thing. But just, I got to remind you, though, just remember, old JC, I don't talk much before the show. I've heard people say, oh, man, this is a rock star. I think I'm a guy that wants to protect his voice and not yell over a bunch of bands. So, but afterwards, I always like to hang out for a little bit and talk to everybody. But I appreciate all of you for coming here and hanging out with me tonight. I wanted to show you something I got this weekend. I got a visit from my old pal, Steve Wenzel. He plays in a tribute band, Love It to Death. Tribute to Alice Cooper. And they just got these new coffee cups. Look at those things, man. That looks good now, don't it? Oh, yeah, that's some good stuff right there, son. I love it. And, yeah, Steve and most of Love It to Death band was the Dimension. Except for the drummer. But, yeah, hopefully we're going to get that going again soon, because I really want you guys to hear that. Because when we do covers or do stuff, people like to pigeonhole what we do as thinking that I'm only capable of what they used to call Cookie Monster vocals, and I love to prove those critics wrong. And I think I've done it a few times, but I know I'm capable, and I like to display that, and that's why doing some of this stuff and doing these other things is really important to me. But what else is important to me is all of y'all. Thank you so much for coming, and man, I hope you have a great week. Hope you have an even better weekend. And I'll see you right here next Tuesday night at 8 p.m. on Break On Through. Take care, everybody. Thank you.